This could all have been it was a bunch of bullshit. All right. Hmm. Hello, hello. Who are you? Hi, Olivia. I hope you're doing well. You looking forward to our break coming up? I can tell you that I am. Ain't no doubt about it. Who else is here? Who are the other two folks? Hi, Bethany. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, it's been yeah, it's been weird. I'm not very satisfied with this process here, and I'm thinking of different ways to do it after spring break. Maybe using Zoom. Um, but we'll see. High school starts up after spring break, but that's all a big mess. So be the other folks go ahead and say hello so I can get the attendance there. Hi, Jesse. Hi, Cynthia. I got your homework, Cynthia. Just we're gonna hold on to it, and on the night of the test, when I pass out the test, or when I open the test up to you all, turn in all of the chapter 13 homework on that day. Yeah, for high school, what they want us to do, we're gonna be out, but what they want us to do is to start teaching just like this online, which is fine. Um, that'll be easy. Um, hey, Caitlin. Honestly, I could have been doing this with my students in high school 3 weeks ago. Hi, Okuri. It's not a big deal, but the district wouldn't allow it, so I guess they know better. Hey, Lily, I didn't see you. Welcome. Let me see, is everybody here? Yeah, Lily, good. Hi, Jordan. Yeah, let me wait till everybody's here. Just remind me and let's wait till everybody gets here and I'll just do it all at once. Hi, Harrison. Welcome. Hey, Sheila. Hey, Selena. Everybody's here of our regulars. Hey, Luis, welcome, welcome. Okay, we just lost somebody. Let me give a let me start by giving just a basic overview of how a home loan works. There's a simple picture that'll make sense of it. And then we'll talk about the nuts and bolts and how to do kind of the problems and look at the math, okay? So the first thing is if you take out a home, okay, it's like a square, okay? And this is the principal, and this is the interest right here. So what happens is, and these are your payments, right? So each of your payments is like this. You do a little cross hatching, it'll make it clear. So here's what happens. These are your payments. Okay? That you make during the life of the loan. So when you take out a home loan, your first payment is all interest and no principal. Over time, what happens is each of your payments you pay off more principal and less interest. Okay? And the reason for that is the bank wants to make sure that it gets all of its interest. It wants to make sure that it gets all of its money. So it takes its money at the beginning. Hey, Renato, welcome. So the bank takes its money as much as it can at the beginning of the life of your loan. Okay? Since a home loan is such a huge amount of money for the bank, such a huge income drawer, that what happens and what we saw in the last downturn is that if people can't pay off their mortgages, the bank really, really suffers. Okay, so and banks close and that's what happened. People couldn't pay their mortgages, and banks went under. Um, so so it works like this. Okay, so it's not just so you figure out all the interest and principal at the beginning of the loan, and then there's an amortization schedule so that you pay off the interest first before you pay off the principal. Now, one thing that you can do if you want to own a home, and a lot of people do this, a lot of my friends have done this, where you have the standard payment from the bank, and then every month you kick in an extra $200 or $300, and that money goes only on principal. Then when you do that, they have to redo the whole loan every single time. Um, Hi, Diana. Is that you? Okay. Excellent. All right. What happened? We went down a lot. We gained 3 people and we lost 3 on the. There they are, all back. Okay. All right. Is everybody clear how that works? So that's basically how it works. So from the chapter and how we do the math for home loans. I'm going to throw it open to you. What did you not understand? By the way, one other thing I'm going to say, ignore the section on ARM. Okay. And if the assigned problem is about an ARM. Hi, Rochelle. Don't do it. Because I know that all of you are so smart that you will never, ever, ever take out an adjustable rate mortgage. I know that all of you are just so wildly intelligent that that will never happen. Adjustable rate mortgages, what they mean is that, so an ARM, one, it begins with a very low interest rate. Okay. 2 to 3 years later, hey, Rochelle, 2 to 3 years later, that interest rate goes up a lot. So that interest rate will go up a lot because they have to cover that interest that they didn't earn the first 2 years. Okay? During the last economic downturn, where some of us were old enough to remember and some were not, um, adjustable rate mortgages was how the entire housing market collapsed because of this. Because what happened is disreputable people went and said, I can get you into a house for this amount of money a month. And folks said, wow, that's less than my rent. Well, let me buy a house because I can buy a house for less than my rent, my current rent. So then people bought houses. But the problem was that they were giving them adjustable rate mortgages based on a scarily low interest rate, almost no interest rate. And people were happy. And then 2 to 3 years later, they suddenly had to default on their houses because they couldn't pay for them. Because suddenly their monthly payment went up, it doubled, or it went up by 50%, and suddenly they couldn't pay their monthly mortgages. And they didn't know what had happened. So then they went and said, wait, what? They went to the bank, and the bank said, well, you had an adjustable rate mortgage, and the rate has just adjusted, and you signed it. So I know that all of you are smart enough to never take out an adjustable rate mortgage, no matter what, no matter what the snake oil salesman tells you. And when I bought my house, my house, I've sold it since, but when I bought the house, it was so interesting because when I talked to the mortgage broker who wanted to give me the mortgage, the adjusted mortgage, when it went back up, that mortgage after 2 years was going to be more than my monthly salary. So let me say it again. My mortgage, so it was a house I didn't buy, and it was a mortgage that I never took. But when I talked to the mortgage broker, I said, "What's my payment after 2 years?" And she told me, and it was literally more than my monthly payment, my monthly salary. And I said to the woman, "Wait a second, you're going to give me a mortgage that I won't be able to pay back in 2 years?" And I'll never ever forget this. The woman on the phone said, "Well, we know that you'll figure out how you'll make that payment by then." And I laughed and hung up on her, and that was the end of that because I'm not, because I thought it through. So it was absurd. It was totally absurd. Um, but a lot of people didn't say what happened. Yeah, scam artist is right. They were scam artists because people who sell mortgages. Here's the rub. If you sell mortgages for a living, they don't have to be good mortgages. They can be bad mortgages. You still get paid. So you get paid a percentage of the mortgage that you sell. So if you sell someone a mortgage that they can't pay back, it doesn't matter. You still get your money for selling that mortgage. Um, Now, I think they've tried to do some ethical work since then, but that's the way it was back then. And so there were all of these scam artists. They were scam artists who sold mortgages to unsuspecting people. Basically, found ways to lie to them. So, anyway, there's the end of my lecture. So we're not even going to do the adjustable rate mortgage part because all of you are so smart that you will never get an adjustable rate mortgage. Now, that being said, the adjustable rate mortgages, they serve a purpose. Okay? They serve a really good purpose, actually. They got abused, but they served a real good purpose. Here's their purpose. If you buy a house that you expect to sell within 2 years, by all means, get an adjustable rate mortgage. Like, let's say you're in the military and you know that you're going to be posted in whatever. You're going to be posted in Fresno for 1 year and you want to buy a house. Absolutely. You would buy a house, you would get an adjustable rate mortgage because the interest for that first year is really, really, really low. And you'll never have to pay it when the interest rate goes up because you buy the house, you live in it for a year, and then you sell it. Or you buy the house, you live in it for 2 years, and then you sell it, so you do a low interest rate. Or if you flip a house, so if you buy a house and your plan is to renovate it and then resell it, you would totally get an adjustable rate mortgage because your plan is to renovate the house in 6 months and then have it on the market for a few months. So you definitely want the lowest interest you can get. So that's what adjustable rate mortgages were for, and they serve a good purpose. Unfortunately, for folks who want to buy a home and live in it, they are the wrong way to go. And I'm not giving you any financial advice. You can do what you want because I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a lowly math teacher. All right. Is everybody clear? All right. Did you have questions from the chapter? Give me your questions. Selena. So go ahead and give me your question there, Cynthia. Problem 5. We'll get to your Cynthia in a second. O'Curry wanted problem 5. Oh, none yet. Okay. So problem 5. So you want to find your monthly payment. Okay. Uh-oh. Good. You want to find your monthly payment, right? And the loan is That's how much the loan amount is. The interest is 12.5%, and your loan is for 25 years. Okay? All right. So our formula is, here's our formula. R equals okay, there's the formula from the book. Okay? Now, I want to caution you about something. Forget this. People forget that. Okay, that's the typical mistake is you do this part and then you forget about that part. Okay, so make sure you do that part right there. All right? So, the monthly payment for our problem will be 227,750 times 0.125, there's the rate, over 12, all over 1 minus that's the number of years is 25. Okay. And here I just did it 12 plus the interest rate. So 12 plus 0.125 is 12.125. All right. Hey, let me know if you all understand how I plugged in the numbers right there. Just give me a heads up, say, got it, got it, got it, got it, whatever. Or if you don't understand, please let me know what part you don't understand. All right, before I move forward. Yep, give me a second, Luis. I'll go through it again. All right, so what we have right here, Luis, there's our information. Oops, there's our information right there. The loan is 227,750. Okay. The interest rate is 5%, and your loan time is 25 years. Here's the formula that you're going to use. This R right there means monthly payment. This is to find the monthly payment. So then I just plugged in the numbers. There's the principal. There's the rate. Okay. Then right here is 12 over 12 plus the rate. And then here it's 12 times the number of years. Okay. So here we go. Let's use the calculator. So step one is I'm going to do that. Okay, so I do 12 times 25 equals, and I'm going to put that in memory and clear. All right. Then, so I did the exponent right there. Now I'm going to do what's in the parentheses. So I do 12 divided by 12.125 equals that. Now I'm going to take it to this exponent. Oh, all right. Let's try this again. It was 300. So I'm going to do 300 and I'm going to put that in memory. I'm going to clear. 12 divided by 12.125 equals, I go to the exponent of memory recall equals. Okay? Everybody watch, because I'm going to do something very, very tricky right now. So this number right here is this. Okay? Watch what I can do now. I have that 1 minus right here. So I could put this in memory. That's a lot of steps. Better to do this. Watch. Minus 1 equals, okay? Then hit the negative, take off the negative sign, and this is our answer right here. Okay, so I'm going to do it again. Right? So I do 12 times 25 equals, stop it, 12 times 25 equals 300. I'm going to put that in memory. So I just found the exponent. Then I'm going to do 12 divided by 12.125 equals, okay? Then I'm going to take it to that exponent, equals that, okay? Now I need to do 1 minus this number, but the trick you can do is you can subtract 1 from this number and then change the negative sign and you get that number. All right? Now I'm going to clear memory and I'm going to put this number into memory. Then I clear. Okay? Now the denominator is in memory. Good? So now I'm going to do 0.125, parentheses first, divided by 12 equals, okay? That's the parentheses, times 227750 equals that. And I'm going to divide that by that, and I get a wrong answer. What did I do wrong? I did something wrong. What did I do wrong? Let's try this again. All right, I'm not going to talk through. I'm just going to do it. There it is. There we go. Okay. Let's do it again. I got it. I just hit the wrong key. Last night in my class, it was really embarrassing because I kept trying to do this problem and I could not figure it out and I could not get it right and I was really embarrassed. So then I gave up, and then as soon as the class was over, I thought, what in the world am I doing wrong? And I punched the numbers in the calculator and it was perfect. So I have no idea. So let's do it again. So I have 12 divided by 12.125 equals. I'm going to take that to the 300th power, equals that, minus 1 equals there. Okay? Cynthia, are we good how we got the denominator? Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down that you didn't understand what I'm doing. Are we good? Cynthia, are we good? All right, cool. All right, so let's do the next part. I'm going to do the numerator. I do 0.125 divided by 12 equals, so that's my parentheses, multiplied by this, times 227750 equals, okay? I divide it by what was in the memory, and I get, there's my monthly payment. So my monthly payment will be $2,483.28. Okay? Everybody good? Okura, you asked that question. Does that make sense now? Okay. Let's do a practice problem. You all can do a practice problem. I'm going to make it up with real numbers. These are not unthinkable numbers in the Sacramento area right now. So let's say the house you want to buy is $320,000. Okay. That's a nice average house in Oak Park. All right. The loan will be, let me actually look it up real quick. I can find the average. Okay. 4.278. Okay. That's what it says is right now for a 30-year loan. Okay. Okay. Go ahead and do it. Give you a minute or two. When you're done, just type in got it or done, or type in done when you're done, so I know you're done. There you go, Harrison. Okay, let me know when you're done. That part. That's the part that people forget. including myself sometimes. Hmm. So Diana, do you have an iPhone or an Android? Something to do with the exponent button. So are you using the X to the Y button? This one? Okay, that's the button right here for exponents. Okay, so try it again. It should work. Then type stuck. So that way I know I'm ready to move on or not. But if you're still working, just keep working. By the way, that formula is in your book. Anybody else done or are you stuck? Go ahead and communicate with me so I know where we are. Diane, I didn't get that, but let's look and see. Did you round? Okay, good, Jordan. Good, Selena. All right, rounding is the thing to do. All right, let's go forward then. So let's plug in our numbers. Okay, we're going to plug in our numbers. Okay, let me put the formula up there. Okay, so principal, then rate over 12. So there's the principal, there's the rate divided by 12, all over 1 minus. Okay, now in our formula, we have 12, oops, my bad, 12 over 12 plus rate. What is it? To the 12 times the number of months, so it's 30 years. 12 months, 30 years. Okay. So, is everybody with me? Did they fill in their formula correctly? So I'm going to rewrite it. Okay. Now I'm going to do it on the calculator. All right. And let's see, Diane, follow me and see if we can figure out where the difference was. Okay. Always be sure to clear, and particularly to clear memory before you begin, because if there's something in memory, it'll mess it up. All right, so I'm going to do 12 divided by 12.02, my bad, 12 divided by 12.04278 equals. So there's my number. Now I'm going to take it to the 12 times 30, which is the 360th power. So I hit x to the y, 360 equals. Then I showed you that trick. Subtract 1 and change the sign. That's our denominator. It's finished. So I'm going to put it in the memory. Okay, and then I'm going to clear. Oh, shoot. I'm going to put it in the memory. Then I'm going to clear my calculator. Now I'm going to do the numerator. So we do the parentheses first. 0.04278 divided by 12 equals times equals. Okay? That's our numerator. Now we divide the numerator by the denominator, and we get a different number from what I got. So I'm going to do it again. That's closer to what Diana got. I made a mistake somewhere. My phone is dying, I think. I think it's time to buy a new one because the screen is not working very well. So let me try this again real quick. There we go. So that is right. 1579.46. So this would be your monthly mortgage. All right. That's how much it would cost you to pay off the loan. Good. Let's look at something real quick. In my example, there's the house cost. The monthly payment is that. Good. The loan is 30 years, which means you will make 360 payments. Okay? Is everybody with me so far? Yes, Harrison, you have to do the exponent first. In PEMDAS, remember we do in PEMDAS, you do the parentheses, then you do the exponent, then multiplication, division, then addition, subtraction. Okay? So watch, I'm going to do a little fancy math right here. Okay? So if I am paying $1,579.46 per month, and I'm going to pay that 360 times, then I end up paying my entire, for the life of the loan, this is how much I pay. So I want to point something out, okay? Over the 30-year life of the loan, you pay $568,000. The house cost is actually 320. In general, as a general rule of thumb, with a 30-year mortgage, when you pay off your loan, you pay twice. So you pay almost double the cost of the house. So if you buy a house and you just pay the standard mortgage rate, you will pay twice as much as the house is worth when you include the interest. So if it's just somewhere you live, it's not a big deal. But you have to factor that in. Um, Honestly, like I said, I had a couple of friends who they did a smaller loan. If you do a 15-year mortgage, let's try a 15-year mortgage. This is 30 years. Now let's do 15 years, which is the other mortgage that's really, really common. So let's do one of those, and I'll let you guys do it. Do the same thing, but so I want you to do the same problem, but now I want you to do it with 50 years. Exactly the same problem, except instead of 30, use 15. When you're done, type got it. Yeah, Diane, I think you're right. Type in the answer you got when you get it. By the way, let me check in with Caitlin. Is this making sense now? Now that we've done a couple examples, or are you still a little confused? What part are you stuck on, or is it making sense? Yep, Olivia, that's what I got. That's what Diana got. Is that what you got, O'Curry? Yeah, mine's a little whack. I keep making it's not my finger things aren't working. It's a little insensitive. But you know what they say? It's a poor workman who always blames his tools. I'm directing that at me. All right. So let's move forward just to show my point is that if you have a 15-year mortgage, your payment is this. Okay? And we're going to multiply that times 180, and that's only $434,129. So, my point is this. If you have a 30-year mortgage for a $320,000 house, you end up paying almost double. So you end up paying the bank. We can actually do the math. So $548,604. This is paid to the bank. Okay, that's how much you pay to the bank. Right? Here, you only pay $114,129. All right, so if you're able to pay off your house in 15 years, you only pay the bank $100,000 more or less for your loan. If you pay off your loan in 30 years, then you end up paying the bank $250,000, $250,000. The bank gets from you for you to have a home loan. Does everybody understand the idea? So the faster you pay off your home loan, the less money actually goes to the bank. All right, so it costs you a lot less. So it's worth it, a lot worth it, to pay off your loan faster. Do we have any questions about this process at this point? Give me a yes or no. No questions. Type no questions or more questions, or type your question. Either way, so I know where we are before I move on. Okay? Good, good. What about our folks? How are we doing? Are we good? Or is there something that's sticking you? Or you're getting stuck at? Anybody else? Are we good, everybody? Cynthia, we're good? Good. Um, Me too, Bethany. It always upsets me how much the bank gets. I am 100% with you. Go ahead, Luis. What's your question? Oh, refinancing only works if you are going to keep your house for a long time because the refinance charges are pretty expensive, actually. Luis, what's your question? You get lost after finding the denominator? Okay, let's do it. I'll do it for you one more time, and then I'll do it one more time. Okay. And then what we'll do is on YouTube, you'll have access to this. So you can do it and then slow it down. All right. So you can rewatch the video and slow it down. So let's do it one more time, and let's do the 15-year mortgage. So here's the formula. Oops. Oops, that's a 15 right there. Okay, so there's our formula. Okay, I'll show you which keys to press. Good call. It's a little blurry, but it'll work. All right. I'm going to talk you through it, Luis, because it looks like it's hella blurry. Let's see if it'll unblur. Yeah, it's not going to unblur for the calculator, but I'll go ahead and talk you through it, okay? So, what I do is I do the parentheses first. 12, oops, let me clear the memory. First thing you do is you clear the memory and you clear the calculator. Then you do 12 divided by 12.04278 equals. Okay, that's the parentheses right here. Okay, now we have to do exponent next. So 12 times 15 is 180. So you're going to push the x to the y. That gives you the exponent. Okay, 180 equals. Good. Now we have 1. Oops, my bad. We have 1 minus that amount. So there's a little trick to that. And the trick to that is you subtract 1 and then you change the sign. Okay, now we have the denominator, and Luis hit the memory plus, M plus. Okay, that puts that number in memory. Then you want to clear your calculator. Okay, so we have that number in memory. That's why this button right here that says MR is lit, because it says that we have a number in memory. All right, so now let's do the numerator. We're going to do the parentheses first, always parentheses first. Okay, so we have 0.04278 divided by 12 equals. Okay, so that gives us what's in the parentheses. Now we multiply it by our principal times 320,000 equals. Cool. Now we have the numerator. Clear? And then we have to divide by the denominator, so we divide by what we put in memory, and we get our answer. Does that help, Luis? Are we good? Give me a thumbs up or something that we got it. Okay. Does that make sense? And if you have any further questions, you can text me and or go ahead and look on YouTube on this channel. If you subscribe, then this video will be there and you can go through it step by step, okay? What does MERP mean? All right. Now, there's some other things, and those of you who have been, are now, or were once homeowners will know this. All right. Okay, and it's on whatever page in your book. You have to pay closing costs. Okay? So whatever the cost of your loan is, you have to actually pay for all the paperwork to do your loan. And when you go buy a house, they're going to hit you with a page that has a page in your mortgage that has 25 things on it, all of which you pay for. So you pay for the guy to go down to the city to put your title in. So you pay that guy to drive your title over to your application for the title to the house. You pay for the guy to drive it over to wherever they drive over with the city, right? So in the book, they give you a list of things. I was going to write them down. I don't see the point. So you pay the mortgage, the loan origination fee, 1% of the mortgage amount. That pays for your real estate broker and the other real estate broker. Okay, so that pays for the brokers. Then you pay a loan fee. Then you pay the lender document. I don't even know what half these things are, but they hit you with all of them. A lender tax and wire fees. they have to wire the that's right, I remember that. They have to like wire the loan or the title to the bank, and so you pay for that. So in the book, that's $200. You have to pay the title company, and the title company does all the voodoo about transferring the title. Okay. You pay insurance for the title, and it's insurance during the title transfer. Um, you pay for recording fees at the city, blah, blah, blah. And there are other things. You pay all of these things. And so what they'll do is let's say your house. So your house might be $320,000, but you pay $4,000 in fees. So the total cost of the house is actually then $324,000 for you to get your loan. Okay. And what they normally do is that you don't pay this out of pocket. They just fold it into the loan, and your loan's a little bit more. And it's really not that big a deal. It means your monthly payment's an extra dollar. So it's not a big deal, but just know that those things are there. Okay. And the last thing is this. And this is the one that I think people don't pay attention to in general. Okay. Once you buy your house, one, you don't own it. Okay. Who owns the house? The bank owns it. Okay. So your bank owns your house until you pay off the loan. When you pay off the loan, you actually get the physical title, and now it belongs to you. But until you pay off that loan, you're living in the bank's house. Okay. Two, you pay also taxes. You pay property tax on your house. B, you pay insurance. Okay. Since the bank owns your house, they want to make sure it's insured for fire, flood, UFO invasion, etc. All of the insurances. That's a great question, Jordan. Hold on a second. Let me finish this, and then I'll go back to your question. Okay. So you pay insurance. Okay. The third thing you pay is wait. There was a third thing: taxes, insurance. Oh well. You have to pay maintenance. Oh, my bad. You'll pay city fees. So you pay. So you'll pay for trash, water, sewage, and the total is about 30 to 40% of your monthly payment. Okay. So with my old house, so here's how it worked for me. My real numbers were this: my mortgage was $1,100 a month. I had a small house in Oak Park. So my mortgage was $1,100 a month. Um, tax, insurance, etc. 400 plus per month. Okay. So I paid $1,500 plus dollars per month, but my mortgage was only 1,100. Okay. So these other things add up. So if you want to buy a house and this is your mortgage and you're like, I can just barely pay that, you can't afford the house because you have to pay this other stuff. And then finally, maintenance. So maintenance is expensive. All right, and that's just your yard, the roof, the plumbing, the water heater, um, appliances, electrical. Do I need to go on? There are all these parts to your house, and I just listed things that I ended up having to pay for. I had to pay for part of the roof that didn't work, so I had to put on a new roof. I owned my house for 10 years, so I had to put on a new roof. The plumbing, I had to fix plumbing several times. Once the toilet and once the sink. The water heater died, so I had to buy a new water heater, and it was $2,000 or $3,000. Appliances, the dishwasher died, so I had to buy a new dishwasher. The electrical, it was an old house, so I had to do the electrical thing. Um, Cynthia, you said nope. What's the nope for? Anyway, you have to pay maintenance costs. So these add up. So if you own a house, you have your mortgage, you have to pay tax, insurance, all that stuff, and then you'll have maintenance costs. All right. So those are all the parts that go into home ownership. Um, and I think it's a good deal. Owning a home's a great idea if you're going to live there for 30 years. Um, oh, you don't want to do any home maintenance? Is that it, Cynthia? I'm joking. Let me get to Jordan's question. If you sell a house before it's paid off, that's a great question. So let's look. Remember my drawing at the very beginning of all of this? So I had a drawing like this, right? Okay. This was the interest, and that's the principal. Okay. And then up this side are your monthly payments. Do you remember that drawing? These are your payments. Okay. So as you go sideways, you pay a little bit of principal here, mostly interest. Here, a little more principal, a little less interest, etc. So, so what happens is this right here, that principal you can get back. Let's say you sell your house for the exact same amount. Okay. Um, the money that you've paid toward the principal of the house, you get back. The interest is gone, goes to the bank. So, for example, if your house was $320,000, right? Okay. And you make your monthly payments right here, okay? And you paid off, let's say, $30,000 in principal and $50,000 in interest. Okay. And now you sell for $320,000. Okay. You take that money, that $320,000, and that goes to the bank to pay off the rest of this principal right here. And this part that you've already paid, you'll get back. Okay, because you've already paid it. So if you've already paid 320 if you already paid 30 in principal, the cost of the house was 320,000. You paid 30,000. Did I do it right? Yeah. Okay. So you only have to pay the bank $290,000 to pay off your house. If you sell it for $320,000, then you have $30,000 more. So whatever you pay into principal, you get back. Now, that's not straightforward because the seller pays a great deal of the selling costs. So the seller pays for the real estate agent, pays for a lot of the things that have to do with selling the house, and that tends to eat this money. So the idea is that if you own the house for 30 years or 25 years, when you sell it, there's a lot of money there, a lot of capital there, right? But if you own the house for 3 years and you sell it for the same amount, you lose money. That just because the amount of money that you spend to sell the house actually takes away from how much money you made on the house, how much money you put away in principal. Jordan, does that help? Give me a yay, nay, yes, no, whatever, so I know if that helped or not. Jordan, are you still there? Did we lose you? Good, good. Thank you. Okay, I think we're done. I want to say, as you go through and work this chapter, your test is probably 50% this chapter. So I'd suggest that you work it so that you understand all the parts of it. Okay. Um, I could talk about this for another hour, but not because I'm interested, but because I did it. So kind of there are a lot of insights through the process, but or at least for me, and maybe it's different for other people. I don't know. Um, the If you have any questions, please feel free to text me. No problem. I'm on spring break and I'm stuck at home like everybody else, so I'm happy to answer your questions. Um, okay, a couple of business things. Okay, first business thing is this homework. So for chapter 13, what we agreed to do is to hold all the homework and classwork, and I want you to do the classwork for this section. Okay, we have lots of time. So do the homework and the classwork for this section. All right. Hold it. And on the day of the test, when we do the test, you turn in all of it all at once in one email, as opposed to turning it in bit by bit. Okay. Number two, and this is a big one. So I understand with the lockdown, a lot of folks can't do their numeracy projects or what they plan to do doesn't work anymore. So I don't know what to say. Um, if you can come up with something else that works, run some ideas by me. I think there are one or two people who emailed me like, mine doesn't work. What should I do? And we figured something out. All right. So make sure you reach out. Make sure you come up with another plan if your previous numeracy project required you to be in public. All right. I would imagine that you could come up with all kinds of plans at this point just by observing how people are in public, trying to maintain the distancing and et cetera, et cetera. I would imagine that you could do all kinds of really interesting, how many people are wearing masks um, at the supermarket, like things like that. I would imagine there's a ton of things you could do. Um, what's the average number of people in line at any one time? I mean, there's all kinds of things you could do. So, but if your numeracy project won't work anymore, don't just slide. Figure out something else to do, okay? All right. Do you all have any questions? If you don't have any questions, I'll say goodbye and wish you a really happy spring break. Um, any other questions? Or are we all good? All right. Then I'm going to end the stream and know that any questions you have, I welcome you to text them to me. All right. And once again, I'll say that your test is a lot of this. So um, you should know it well. Okay. Everybody stay safe. Yep. I agree with Jordan there. Everybody take care and stay safe and maintain your 6 foot distance, please. All right, everybody, you have a good spring break, and I'll talk to you in a little over a week. All right, good night, everyone.